I usually wait for more people to arrive, but they can watch this back after the live. I'm about to just, this is something that I just came up with real quick. And I just want to just react and just talk about how Tupac spoke for himself on multiple occasions where there wasn't no lawyer present. And he was intelligent enough. He was intelligent enough to speak for himself. But yet, let's still keep in mind that this is a 23-year-old man who was enduring something that he never ever endured ever in his life. And yet people in 2024, I see on certain places online when people talk about Tupac being a rapist, how can people stand by him? You know, Tupac was charged with sexual abuse. Tupac assaulted this woman. Tupac did this. Tupac did that. So I just want to give a quick brief examination. Hang time in the building. Just want to give a quick brief examination on how Tupac handled himself when he talked to the media, especially without a lawyer around.
Hi Tupac, how you doing? Can you tell me how you doing today?
Well, I just had to listen to the prosecution's closing argument, and it was just so far from the truth that it really just has me drained at the end of the day. But I'm leaving it in the hands of the jury. I'm learning a lot about people's innermost fears in this trial, because it's not even about my trial no more. It's just about loud rap music, tattoo having thugs. It's not even about me no more. It's about, some nightmare that these people having.
She was talking about thug life and all that, trying to...
He's definitely guilty. Anybody with thug life tattooed on their stomach is guilty. What type of reasoning is that? You know what I'm saying? We got different backgrounds. We come from two different places. Just because I look different than her doesn't mean that I'm a sodomizer or a raper. They've said it in the... I can't understand why it's this close. They talking about there's no evidence that I ever sodomized her, even though you put that all over the paper. And every time they take a quote out of this courtroom, they take a quote from out of her mouth, which is, the stuff to put me in jail. It's nothing that's been true. I just want print the facts so everybody can sort it out. My life is ruined because nobody has a chance to get the facts.
And the facts...
Now, before, just that part right there, it was like, they taking quotes out of her mouth and printing it in the paper so they can place him in jail, use that against him in jail. So this is the tactic as Tupac is witnessing in real time in this particular era of 1993, possibly 94. I could be an error about that year, but there wasn't no internet. So now what they use nowadays is a lot of online. You got a lot of people that are gullible. You got a lot of people who, we like, there's been a lot of black men convicted with the help of online, and not just with folks online, as well as some of these people have done some things that led them to end up in jail or a court case or something like that. But at this point in time, there wasn't none of that. So the media at this, not social media, but the media at that time, they're in conjunction with the newspapers, because the media, a lot of people that own those newspapers and stuff like that, they own like television, news networks and book outlets and all types of shit. And even to this day, they have many online programs that they use to spread their propaganda. So in this particular instant, Tupac is referring to how they're taking quotes from her and they're putting that stuff in the paper so it could put him in jail. So when he puts that in the paper, this is the jury. So this is why Tupac was talking about, they're talking about thug life. They're talking about anybody with thug life on his tattooed on his belly has got to be guilty. So they're painting this narrative about this black man. This is why we need, I'm not going to get real philosophical on this, but this is why we need our own black world. This is why we need our own shit. We need our own shit. At a certain point in time, there, as you can see, there comes a reason why we need to separate when it comes to reasons like this matter. The way we can be picked apart online and then forced to do something settle out in court or taking us to court or just ridiculing or just destroying a man's life. So Tupac right here even said like, yo, you know, my life is over. And this is how he felt at that time. This is a 23-year-old man. Why wouldn't he feel like his life is not over when this is something that he never endured, and going and being a Black Panther and going against a system that put a lot of black people in prison for things that even true? Why wouldn't Tupac feel kind of hopeless?
Is that there was no semen found.
No semen found, no forcible entry, no entry into the anal, no nothing, none of that. You know,
and no fingerprints on the gun.
Fingerprints on the guns. You know what I'm saying? The only time ever there was an act of sodomy, she admitted she did it to me. I should be, you know, putting charges on this girl who sodomized me on the floor of a dance club. Why am I in court? You know.
He said she did the sodomy, she did the oral, she did all that other stuff, but Tupac didn't take her to court. So it's like Tupac is basically saying like, this is a double standard. If I would have known all this was going to happen, although if Tupac would have known this was going to happen, he would have never took that sister to court. But he probably would just been like, nah, I ain't even going to mess with you. But this is, like I said, this is a young dude, 23 years old, dealing with a shorty who was, I think Ayanna was like 18 or 19. So she young. She don't even know better. She don't know it all. You know, it ain't no telling how that woman, that young girl, was raised at that particular time, and whoever, or, you know, she probably was just, there's a lot of people that was just magnetized, a lot of women that were just magnetized to the charisma of Tupac, the physical appearance of Tupac, and she probably just one of those, or she just might be a straight up groupie, or, you know, straight for the stroke at that time, you know what I mean? But Tupac was just like, yo, she did all that to me. I should be the one that should be putting her in jail. But he's just looking at it like, he just like, I know I wouldn't do it, but it's like, a damn sister, I'm telling you to keep your head up, but this is what you do to me.
I'm saying, get my life ripped apart. But I'm here, I'm gonna go through it just to show that I have faith in the American system. But for me to have faith in the American system, these juries and everybody else has to, you know what I'm saying, play the same role and to keep an open mind. I'm already convicted. My whole life has been turned around. I lost every job, I lost everything, every opportunity. I can't get buy cars, can't get rent, can't get none of that. But I'm still a survivor, you know, I'm still coming to court, still smiling, still signing autographs. But soon I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to the world. You know, America eats his can't get buy cars, can't get rent, can't get none of that. But I'm still a survivor. You know, I'm still coming to court, still smiling, still signing autographs. But soon I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to.
And look at that. He said, but pretty soon I'm gonna go crazy. Like he knew the outcome of this. He knew the outcome of this. And this is probably historical. This is probably from what his moms went through and what his other Black Panther revolutionary families went through. He knew that this was going to turn into something that it shouldn't turn into. And this right here led to a lot. This accusation led to this right here in hip hop. If this didn't happen, you know, we probably would still have Pac and Big. Real talk, you know what I mean? Yeah, it probably could have been another incident. Who knows? The if, should have, would have, could have, whatever type stuff. But he said that, yo, pretty soon I'm going to go crazy. And I ain't say Tupac went crazy, but he didn't trust people. Like, he got shot after that. And he got sentenced to prison. And he witnessed how his friends, people betrayed him. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like this accusation just went crazy. Only got a few more minutes left. I ain't gonna be on here. Salute the polar bear in the building.
World, you know, America eats its babies. No matter what y'all think about me, I'm still your child. You know what I'm saying? You can't just turn me off like that. But I was in my room. I can't, you know, I don't know who owns the gun.
How old are you? 23?
23.
So you feel that your career is...
Yeah, it is. Why would I own the gun?
So you look at that. He said, she asked him, how old are you? He's like, damn, this is 2 years before his death, bro. So this was 94. So she's like, So you're 23. She was like, yeah, you feel like your career. She didn't even get a chance to finish it, but he knew what she was. He's like, yeah, I do. He felt like his career was over. You know what I mean? It felt like at that point in time, he felt like, yo, I probably can't get no more movies. I probably can't get no more. It's, you know, I don't know. I don't know how much time he thought he was going to be looking at. Tupac probably observed that like, yo, I'm about to do mad time, bro. I'm about to do mad time for this, man. It's like, yo, my life is over, bro. Like, will I be able to beat this? Like, I got, you know, whoever. It was just a sad situation, man. It was just a sad situation. One thing I'm not clear about, maybe somebody could tell me, you know, one thing I'm not clear about is the guns. The guns. I'm hearing about the guns. What about the guns? You know what I mean? That's one thing I never really, probably, you know, when Tupac talked about it, legally owning a firearm, but what does the guns have to do with this rape case? That's one thing I never really paid attention to until like right now, like exactly right now, and I don't know the connection. But let's continue.
I've registered guns. You know what I'm saying? I'm a legal owner of guns.
In California.
I don't know who owns the gun.
How old are you? 23.
23.
So you feel that your career is?
Yeah, it is. Why would I own a gun? I've registered guns. You know what I'm saying? I'm a legal owner of guns.
In California.
California. So I came to New York and wanted to be an illegal gun runner now. You know, that's what they want you to believe. I want to start erasing. What? Come on, man. This is all about my image.
Look how frustrated he was right there. That part right there is displayed on Until the End of Time, man. The frustration, the pain, the heartache, like in his face at this time. This is before the shooting. This is before the shooting. So just look how disturbed he's getting.
In California.
California. So I came to New York and wanted to be an illegal gun runner now. You know, that's what they want you to believe. I want to start erasing. What? Come on, man. This is all about my image. Has nothing to do with me. This is all about my image. It's like MTV, all the papers, they building me up. Now they destroying me on the same image that they perpetuated. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling records. This is what I do for a living. I'm selling records. Don't get it twisted. This is not my real life. This is not how my real life is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be really having all these villains in my life. I'm not supposed to be...
Now look at that. Right there is like, he said, this is not my real life. I'm not supposed to be having all these villains in my life. Now, for me, that's even deeper on a deeper level, because I always said if white people haven't intervened in our lives, where would black people be at? You know, I'm referring to colonization. Some people just think, you know, just here in America, we just talking about the history that black people or people that are melanated that we share with a lot of Caucasians has been a history of atrocities, a history of pain and murder and rape and a lot of that, bro. And we had to, you know, lost our language. We learned their religion. We speak their language, which is English. So we had to develop. We lost old things that we were. That's even in Africa, wherever you at. Like a lot of stuff that we once did, our ancestors once did. You know, all that got lost because it wasn't able to be passed down any longer, because it got nipped in the bud because of colonizing. You know what I mean? Because of colonization. And then we had to endure a lot of heartache and pain until we got smart. We was told not to read and all this other stuff. So we was told all this other stuff until we begin to develop a new thing, a new form, you know what I mean? Of new ways of quote unquote living, and a better way of thinking. And once we started thinking, then there's a lot of scholars out there and other people started like, damn, like what was I before all this bullshit? You know what I mean? Let's go back into my history, because like Tupac just said, I'm not supposed to, this is not my real life. Don't get it twisted. I'm not supposed to have all these villains. Like the Black Panthers wasn't supposed to go what they went through with J. Edgar Hoover and all that stuff they did. Like you shooting Fred Hampton at 1 years old. Like, you know, trying to put Pac mother in there. You got the Philly Move found, you know, people out there, and like all these black activists, and they got labeled later on black extremists. All these people that have been fighting for their rights, their human rights, their civil rights, you know what I mean, in this damn country. Just, you know, we had to like because we've been so lost for so long, and we're just now, a lot of us are just now becoming to a level of consciousness, and we're trying to find out who we're supposed to be. So at this point in time, this 23-year-old Tupac is like basically saying like, yo, this ain't my real life, man. I'm not supposed to have all these villains, bro. Like I wasn't put here. Like this is probably why Tupac said, I'm tired of being poor, and even worse, I'm black. This is probably why he said that, because you labeled me black, and when you labeled me black, that shit came with nothing but negative connotations, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm selling records. This is what I do for a living. I'm selling records. Don't get it twisted. This is not my real life. This is not how my real life is supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be really having all these villains in my life. I'm not supposed to be having, the Philadelphia.
Jay
I
Wall
can't
in the
do
building.
shows. Everybody's already. I'm guilty. Even though the only crime I've been convicted of is fighting, hitting somebody in the face with my fists. Ever. Only crime. But I can't even go to. I'm not supposed to be having, the Philadelphia. I can't do shows. Everybody's already. I'm guilty. Even though the only crime I've been convicted of is fighting, hitting somebody in the face with my fists. Ever. Only crime. But I can't even go to Philly. I can't go to Texas. I can't go nowhere. I can't go nowhere. So
You're maintaining your innocence.
I'm maintaining my innocence because I'm loud. I didn't shut up, but I didn't mind in the face with my fists. Ever. Only crime. But I can't even go.
Now this part right here is this is an important part to me, with a lot of other black men who just sat around and be quiet. But this part right here, this is important.
Philly, I can't go to Texas. I can't go nowhere.
Right here.
I can't go nowhere. So
You're maintaining your innocence.
I'm maintaining my innocence because I'm loud. I didn't shut up. But I didn't think they was going to take it this serious. Me keep talking out. I didn't think it was going to be a matter of life and death. I thought, well, I won't be super.
I wish I could find the rest of that, but he said because I'm loud and I'm not quiet, and I kept talking about it. Now this is this right here correlates with other stuff. Now I might mention a few names and shit like that, but like I'm gonna be real brief. I got literally 3 minutes. I'm not trying to be on here long, but like Michael Jackson, for instance, when Michael Jackson got charged with sexual abuse, and they was trolling him, whatever he was doing they was saying what he was doing with the little boys. The lawyers, the white lawyers at that time told, this is a white man's system. This is a white man's world. And, we get our money from white people on our dollar bills as white people. So let's not just act like that's not true. So, we able to pay our bills because of white people majority of the time, and we pay our money and we give it right back to white people. But nowadays, to Chinese, Indians, Arabs, barely give it to black. Like, we barely spend with each other. But he says that, what's the last thing? Oh, loud and quiet. So the lawyers told Michael Jackson, like, yo, just settle. That's the, and then it'll disappear. So Michael Jackson paid, what, $250,000 or something like that, because the lawyers convinced him, like, yo, because you got this going on, in your life. You ain't got time for all this other crap. So let's just just pay that shit off, and that shit is going to go away. It didn't go away. It came back and hit Michael Jackson again. There was more people coming up trying to get, now when they found out Michael Jackson was paying, then more people stepped up to the pot. So then Michael Jackson was just like, F that, this is it. That was the name of his last album and his last tour. This is it. He decided to fight back, and Michael Jackson won. You know what I mean? They did that with R. Kelly. Like, a lot of people, R. Kelly was found not guilty in 2008. And then they created Surviving R. Kelly. Now, this goes back to what I was mentioning earlier about their take. When Tupac said they're taking quotes from them and putting that in the paper just so I can end up in prison. This is what they did to Surviving R. Kelly. You used R. Kelly's name, but you didn't have R. Kelly in the documentary to represent himself. And when R. Kelly did try to speak for himself, through all them years that he was told by his lawyers to be quiet, the narrative of him been doing something to Aaliyah, doing something to some girl, pissing on some girl in the video, to when he finally spoke out, nobody believed him. Nobody believed him. Like, it comes a point in time where you should have stood up for yourself, and you wouldn't be in the predicament you are. If you're innocent, man, you fight for your rights. You stand on that, man. You don't worry about what these people are telling you. This is the problem with a lot of other people, a lot of other black men within this. Look what Jonathan Majors went in. Jonathan Majors, got, whatever with the white girlfriend that he had at the time. He picked her up, put her back inside the car. They called that assault because I think she tripped her nail or bumped her head or something like that. And he ran from her, and she chasing him in high heels. And this man lost millions of dollars in the movie career because of that, bro. So it was just like, You can't win in their world, so to speak. We need our own shit, bro. We need our own fucking shit, and we got to stop being quiet when they start getting people, especially when they get gullible people to be like, yo, nah, he did this to me, you did that. Yeah, Diddy, I'm gonna be real, Diddy did a lot of shit. You did a lot of shit probably, like, that is there, you know what I mean? But motherfuckers got to stop being quiet. You know, study from Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson fought back. Nigga, if you ain't guilty, fight back. Tupac spoke for himself. You know what I mean? Like, when you be quiet, that makes you look kind of bad. Salute to Jay-Z for when he just got, they trying to say he did something to a 13-year-old girl, and just me, looking at Jay-Z's demeanor and the way he carried himself, I don't, when I heard that, I was just like, nah, Jay-Z ain't doing, nah, man. And I'm looking at the comments, oh yeah, now they finally getting Jay-Z. There's a lot of black people. There's a lot of black people. We living in the white man's world where they did the worst shit to us, but we glad that, but black people are actually glad that Jay-Z has finally, you know, got some dirt on him and stuffed up some shit like that. So then Jay-Z he fired back, and the statement that he proved, he was just like, nah, man, no. He said, if I did something so heinous, something so terrible, then put criminal charges on me. Don't put me in no civil suit and try to think I'm going to pay. I'm not like, he said, I'm not like these other celebrities. Don't do that to me. Nah, don't do that to me. If I did something, he said, yo, anybody that did something to a 13-year-old little girl like that, they should be put under the jail. They should be dealt with. Now, Jay-Z told that lawyer, like, yo, do that shit to me. Get a criminal case against me. And I believe I think the reason why Jay-Z said that, because he know he ain't do no heinous bullshit like that, bro. He just know it. Like, Jay-Z doesn't have that demeanor. Like, if you go to Wikipedia, my homegirl believes Jay-Z is guilty. Straight up and down. Cause Jay-Z's whining. I said, yo, I said, you know what? She's like, I don't know Jay-Z's police report or his criminal record. I said, yo, the only thing Jay-Z probably did was that shit with Lance and Rivera. So we go to Wikipedia. When you go there, it tells you about the 1999 incident. This is a year before this 2000 shit that pops off with this 13-year-old girl that Jay-Z supposed to did some crazy shit with Diddy. You know what I mean? But on that, they you know, that was it. And then what's the next? Any kind of shit that Jay-Z got caught up in? As of recently, December 7th, or December 7th or December 8th, when they put that shit in the paper saying Jay-Z touched a girl. Jay-Z ain't been caught up in no motherfucking scandals, no lawsuits, no police contact, never been to jail. Jay-Z said many times in songs, like that song Black Gangster, Jay-Z said, you know, the feds is closing in. I can do the time, but what's really on my mind ain't no holes in the pen. So, like, if you pay attention to that line, it's just like, yo, why the fuck I'm going to go to jail and be surrounded by men for the rest of my life when I love women? I love women. And I was just like, that was from a 1998, 1999 song, Black Gangster. So Jay-Z even told niggas like, no, Hov did that. So hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. So right now, when Jay-Z told this dude, Tony Busby, and Tony Busby got some sexual assault cases too. And Tony Busby is saying like, no, these people are lying. But yet you got 120 people, and one is a 36-year-old girl at this point in time, that's saying Jay-Z did some shit to her a long time ago. And Jay-Z basically was like, yo, nah, we ain't about to do that. We ain't about to do that, man. You ain't getting one red cent from me. If you think I did that, give me a criminal suit. Don't give me no civil suit so I can pay and settle. I'm not doing that. Like, nah, I'm gonna show you exactly who I am. You're dealing with the wrong one. And I totally appreciate that. And, you know, don't be fucking quiet. When these niggas come at you, don't be fucking quiet. Be like how Pac was. Be like how Michael Jackson was. Like, nah, no, fuck that. We gonna fight back. For R. Kelly, you waited too long. You should have been adamant about yourself. Like, nah, if you feel like they painting this ugly picture on you, you shouldn't listen to your lawyers. You shouldn't listen to these gullible black people who act like they there for you and they not. They want to see you fall. A lot of us want to see us fall. This that meritorious manumission shit. This is that slave mentality. This is that Willie Lynch type of shit. That sick thinking with a lot of us black folk. Niggas think Jay-Z sold his soul to get $2.5 billion, whereas Elon Musk is worth over $300 billion? I'm going to sell my soul for $2 billion when this nigga Elon got $300 billion. Come on, man. It's just a lot of crazy talk. So I feel like I respect Jay-Z for, I don't think he did anything. I'm standing on that right now. Just like I don't think Tupac did anything back then. That was just based on his character, the demeanor, he didn't have to. I just didn't believe it. Now there's some people out there, it's kind of questionable. Salute to R. Kelly, one of my favorite singers in the world. I love his music. His music got me through like Tupac's music. I hate the fact that R. Kelly's in jail, but he did some questionable things in his life, and he should have stood strong and stood, stood up and spoke for himself like Pac. But everybody ain't built like Pac. Everybody don't come from a revolutionary background. This is why I be telling motherfuckers, you got to study your history. You got to study the game tapes. This is why this video is called "Study How Tupac Defended Himself." With no lawyers there. You got to speak the fuck up, man. We only live once. We're in the white man's world, of course. But nah, you ain't about to do this shit to me. Look what Kendrick Lamar did. Kendrick Lamar said in a song, "Don't let no white comedian talk about black women. That's law." That's some real shit that Kendrick Lamar said. Don't let no white comedian talk about black women. That's law. And then look what Andrew Schultz did. Andrew Schultz took that and felt like he was talking about him. Kendrick Lamar never said your name. If anything, Andrew Schultz bitch ass should have said before I even respond to that, I need to know, was he talking about me? You know what I mean? Second of all, if I did, say anything disparaging about black women, I sincerely apologize. No, what does he do? He goes out there and double down and makes it worse. And then you go out there talking about you going to buck break Kendrick Lamar. You go out there criticizing his height. You go out there and start blaming rap music and saying that we all call black women bitches and we don't defend black women. Bro, have you ever heard of KRS-One? Have you ever heard of Mos Def, Talib, Common Sense, Tupac? There's a lot of people out here, bro. And even if we did make that kind of music, there's a lot of men who were young at that time that take care of their daughters, take care of their mothers, take care of their aunts, show other women love. Don't try to do that shit. Don't try to do that shit. And then now he wants to play victim because he can do that in the white man's world. We can't play victim. Only thing we can do is be the motherfucking bad guy until we proven innocent. And then even when we're found not guilty or acquitted or proven innocent, y'all done painted the narrative and be like, y'all still support Tupac, and Tupac is a R-A-P-I-S-T. Y'all still listen to, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. Stop being fucking quiet, man. So I salute Jay-Z for standing up to this motherfucker, bro. And anybody that just think Jay-Z would actually do some shit like that, you got to question yourself. How can you just think that Jay-Z would do some shit, whereas we live in the fucking country that was built off the worst crimes ever, and you don't say nothing about, we can't bring them, we can't go back in their past and do what they did to our ancestors and bring them to trial and make their descendants pay for it or whatever. We can't even get reparations. None of that shit. But they can dig in our past like they did Bill Cosby, like they try to do Rick James, like they try to do George Foreman, O.J. Simpson. They can do all that shit to us. Even Jack Johnson. They got Jack Johnson. He was the first person to get charged with RICO, racketeering, or whatever, because he crossed the borderline with some white chick back in the days. In the 1900s. Yo, come on, man. Wake the fuck up. I got less than few. It says, now I'm 51 till May. Machiavelli to Don. Elisa Lewis says, Connect the Dots activity book by Elisa Miriam Lewis, available on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know what that means. Pac, Brenda's Got a Baby by Jeremy. J Wall in the building. Salute. K Dot got Andrew Short's head spinning. Earthly, so I planet. Degenerate says, be fair, Elon Musk was born into money. And even if that is fair, I wonder, being him being a South African, I wonder how he got that money. How was I need to do research on that. Because apartheid was serious in South Africa. I'm glad you said that. You gave me something to study. I don't know you, says IDKU, or I don't know you, says I respect how Jay's approaching this shit. Salute. Rakim, the lyrical goat. Indeed, the white man marches on. And anyone else on his level, anyone else is a level down. Everyone else a level. Civil suits, money grab, payoff. Indeed, man. Like, all this shit is bullshit, bro. All this shit is bullshit, fam. Hope you are having a good time. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here. I just wanted to briefly come on there, man. Study Tupac, man. And then the other one. I gotta find the rest of this video. They cut it off. But Tupac was defending himself. He was 23 at the time. And he was experiencing something he never experienced before. Even as intelligent as Tupac was, articulate, coherent as Tupac was, but he was experiencing something in real time that he never ever thought that he would endure. So of course he had to go through these changes. So when people get mad at Tupac and be like, he was angry. Like, bro, I ain't think black people would shoot me. I ain't think a black woman accused me of rape. I ain't think black people would betray me. You know, I know my history, but I just didn't think. I was their ambassador. That's what Tupac said. I was there for him. I ain't think they would do that shit to me, but boy, I was wrong. So Tupac had to just deal with that anger, and it probably wasn't gonna be no dealing with that anger. So Tupac left a blueprint for niggas to study, man. And, you know, for us to be that spark that he referenced, not just K-Dot, but for all of us to pay attention and become what Pac was. We need more of Pac's, bro. We need more of that. He ain't not saying be a rapper. He said we don't need no more rappers. We don't need no more basketball players, no more football players, no more actors. He said we don't need none of that. We need mathematicians, scientists. We need mothers, fathers, men, women. He said we need doctors, teachers, managers. He said we need more of that. We don't need no more entertainers. This is what Tupac said at age 23. You know, harbor in on that quote. Study that quote. Study Tupac. That's the game tape right there. Study that, man.